Admit it or not, at one point WWE reigned over our lives and became an important form of entertainment for Americans. And while in recent years the sport has changed, the entertainment part is still the same. The war between Justis Huni and Joe Goodall continues, even after the latter lost. So what exactly happened and what was the outcome? Firstly, it was a fight to remember. It was dubbed as one of the biggest heavyweight clashes in Australia in over 100 years. But Justis Huni has made his fight with Joe Goodall all his own. There were plenty of doubts about the Aussie heavyweight golden champ heading into the fight, as it was believed Goodall's power would be too much for Huni. And while it was a lopsided scorecard, 100 to 90, 98 to 92, 98 to 93, the fight was down. It was pretty intense, and it was fought at close quarters with neither man backing down. At one point, we held our breath and shook our head in shock because of the immense anxiety that came with such a close match. There was so much spoken about the power disparity between the two, with Goodall bringing an 8-0-1 record into the fight, including 6 first-round knockouts, while Huni is known for his uncommon speed for a heavyweight, and said that power wouldn't matter when you're getting hit with 4, 5, 6 punches. And that makes sense, but we definitely would not be able to handle that. But what fans loved the most was the way Joe handled defeat. He showed true sportsmanship by accepting that he had lost, and held no grudges with his opponent. While the two occasionally battle it out with mild sarcasm and a few jokes here and there, they're both professionals. And that's probably why this match was the highlight of the century. It was intense, interesting, and anxiety-inducing. Throughout the match, fans could see Joe struggling to turn the fight around. He kept trying and trying to land a good punch, but Justis is one heck of a boxer, proving he's not someone to be messed with. Well, this was a masterclass for Huni. On the main event, Barry Michael called it a masterclass for Huni as he limited his damage with evasive action throughout the fight and standing toe-to-toe with Joe. He said that the main event was a terrific heavyweight war, one that he hasn't seen in years. He added that it's rare to see two fighters fight like that. Former world champion Jeff Horn, who backed stablemate Goodall for the win, was equally blown away. He said that Huni pretty much boxed his opponent's ears off and pretty much won every round, and we couldn't agree more. It was, after all, a pretty close match, and we were glad to witness it. Huni now has the chance to do something special, as he is likely to be ranked in the top 15 in the IBF, WBO, and WBC rankings, meaning he is now eligible to fight for the world title. Speaking to reporters after the fight, Huni said he expected nothing but the bravery Goodall showed in the ring. Moving on, he said Joe is an excellent competitor. If there's one thing Justis wants to say about his opponent, it's the fact that he wouldn't have expected a better match. He said he admires how tough and brave Joe had been throughout the match. He just felt grateful to be able to fight Goodall and win an intense match like that. Huni said, "Joe and I, we know each other very well. I knew he was going to box, fight, everything, and he did exactly that, so I'm just grateful to come out on top." The power question was a big topic through the week after Jeff Fenech said Huni can't punch. Asked if he surprised himself after rocking Goodall throughout the fight, Huni said he would get the job done every time without a question, but not everyone felt that way. However, the feeling wasn't quite the same from his promoter Dean Lonergan, who blasted Goodall for a disgusting performance after warning of dirty tricks earlier in the week. He said that the only thing Joe cared about was the WWE title and nothing else, while Justis cared about improving himself. He felt Joe had a massive opportunity to come down and set up an ongoing rivalry with Justis Huni, where people would be excited to see them come together. Goodall did nothing but make the fight as dirty as he possibly could, as everyone alluded to beforehand, and made it as boring as he possibly could. Well, ouch. We don't know about that, but we don't think it's wrong to want to come out a winner for something you're passionate about. Of course, we don't encourage any dirty tricks, in case you were thinking that. Dean also thinks that Goodall could have done better from an entertainment point of view. Well, whatever the case, we wish Joe all the best. And can we say justice was served? Now for some other related news. First up, Alexa Bliss talks extended WWE hiatus. Returning to WWE to compete at Elimination Chamber 2022, Alexa Bliss had not been seen on WWE television since her loss to Charlotte Flair at Extreme Rules in September 2021. In a discussion on the Out of Character podcast, Alexa Bliss gave the reasons why she needed to step away. She said said she needed to desperately clear her mind, and that's why she was away for 6 months. And that makes sense. We've wished for a long breather too at times, so we totally get it, Alexa. She recalled a time during her NXT days when she was given advice on how to have longevity in WWE. All we can say is, Alexa, play Vacation by Vitamin C. Next up, Tony Khan willing to consider joint WWE show. Following the success of Forbidden Door, AEW president Tony Khan says he's willing to discuss the possibility of a joint show with WWE. On the 26th of June, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling put on their joint Super Show in the United Center in Chicago, showcasing the best of both companies. The main event of Forbidden Door saw Joe Moxley defeat NJPW's Ace Hiroshi Tanahashi to become the interim AEW World Champion. Elsewhere on the show, Will Ospreay retained his IWGP United States Championship against Orange Cassidy, and FTR became 7-star as they captured the IWGP Tag Team Championship to go with their ROH and AAA gold. Over the past year, wrestling fans have also seen stars from AEW and Impact Wrestling cross over, and Tony Khan cemented his place in wrestling history when he added Ring of Honor to his business interest by buying the promotion. Then we have Under My Skin. Goodall unhappy with Dirty Call, but his trainer says it's the only way to win. Justis Huni's camp are preparing for a new, improved, and dirty Joe Goodall ahead of their blockbuster heavyweight fight on Wednesday night at Nissan Arena in Brisbane. It was only 2 weeks ago, sitting by the pool in his backyard in Las Vegas wearing a singlet, Kevin Barry described his latest Australian heavyweight fighter, Joseph Goodall, as a junkyard dog. Back in Brisbane, 23-year-old Huni, 4 KOs, is preparing for everything that might come his way. At least, that is what Huni's promoter, Dean Longergan, is expecting after spending time working under his old New Zealand pal of 25 years in Las Vegas-based Barry and being transformed from a marshmallow into hard iron. Goodall, who had spent an impressive amateur career before going off the rails in large part because of injury, has spent the past year training in the mecca of boxing in Las Vegas under Barry. And he described Lonergan's comments as a little harsh, but Barry said the Goodall inside the ring is completely different to the one outside it. Barry said the only way they would upset Huni, who Barry in fact recommended to Lonergan years ago, was to make it physical and uncomfortable for the rapid-fire hands of the golden boy of Australian boxing. Well, whatever the case is, we hope Goodall has a brilliant future ahead of him. And finally, Sasha Banks has reportedly been released by WWE. Sasha Banks has been released by WWE, according to Wrestling Inc.'s own Raj Giri. According to Raj, it's unknown at this point if Banks requested the release or if the decision came from WWE. Banks and Naomi staged a walkout from WWE during the May 16th Raw and were subsequently handed out indefinite suspensions without pay. According to former WWE writer Kazim Famouid, Banks' contract was due to be up within 2 months, though that was never confirmed by any news outlets. To date, neither Banks nor Naomi has commented on their standoff with WWE, though Naomi has removed all references to WWE from her Twitter bio. WWE has repeatedly mentioned that Banks and Naomi disappointed the WWE universe by staging a walkout. WWE has also removed all references to the two wrestlers from their TV graphic intro, deleted their Facebook pages, and pulled all their merchandise from the WWE shop. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Goodall used dirty tricks? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.